Hello, hello. I got another one. Another objective subjective uh SOS in the midst of the NBA playoffs. Music is high and vibing and is beautifully enjoyed. If you're doing well, joyous, happy, patient, calm. Uh, a lot of events take place in a person's life, and in a person's life, you're probably gonna have to interact with people, probably gonna interact with AI, probably gonna have to interact with nature, probably gonna have to interact with people you may never ever want to interact ever again. People that you've understood to be uh, more so than just surface level, and more so than just less than spiritual. You don't have to get spiritual, but something's there. Uh, so I think there's a lot of differences when you make sure that you try to be cordial and your respect, your nature carries you through. But I think once you get in the fine line of what I got matching, it's called matching. It's a little bit off, but at the same time, I do believe that matching is ultimately one of the most um, one of the most opposites of confining. I don't know what word that means to you, but um, that's open for interpretation. You're not in a box, but you went above and beyond uh, anything that is actually trying to be original. Um, I think a lot of things are original. I think a lot of people came to the same fruition, realization, and experiences based off, maybe it is God saying, like, you all got to be here for a certain purpose. But that was a little bit tricky too. But I think that the freshness of what compounds off of necessary fulfillment, because you're going to work or um, you're going somewhere, and you're spending your time, a bulk of your time somewhere, and consistently speaking, maybe I should just speak off from part of my notes and things of that nature, but I think you can have some sort of achievement when you know that. I think this is kind of like those. It's not just matching as far as like competitively, not just matching just because you're friends, not just matching because you're divisible. Um, you're matching because things start to you know, consist that way. And it's because you yearn for it too. You yearn for it, and you present yourself as you may present yourself as somebody that I knew this, I knew that, I knew this, and I have this, and things are gonna appropriately develop off of what I like to always talk about is mana, chi, and ki, those kind of stuff. Whatever you want to think about at the end of it, you can really think about how that really intertwines. But for me, I think it's really kind of difficult for uh, like-minded people to sometimes match each other, because even when you're like-minded, there becomes a displacement of who's who. And so sometimes you gotta be like, hey man, this is me today, or hey man, this is me at the night. Because me, I take high relevance, especially matching wise, from day to night. Day to night is a big one to me. But as been going on, obviously, us, probably a lot of us, probably just been in homes at night. But then, like, I don't even know. It's gonna be, we've been in rooms more so than anything. But let me continue. So I said, in more of a conscious space, I wrote down what I felt like was matching. So here we go. Um, when words are the fleeting feelings of a powerful joy, even exhibiting your visual or process can be an appropriation. Where would you project if you knew the eyes were on you? How many eyes? Maybe, possibly, that could be a big thing. Or were the eyes developing many more, way more healthily by your side than alone? Um, you know, sometimes that eagle eye thing could scare people, Big Brother, as just a surface level thing. But if you go a little bit deeper, there are people that are looking out for you per se, but you know, you know what your endearments are when you do things either with the consequence through sin or when you're doing things in a light effect where you're just gliding, you're flying all over the place, you know, because you see what your eyes see and it becomes more than that. It becomes a vision. Um, so where the eyes of yeah, so I want to know how fast the eyes could see. Um, would it even want to look anywhere else than in what it is used to, the eyes? What your soul is looking for, or does passing through mean less than a carrying motion of the face, body, and hands? Um, I'll leave that one for interpretation. So I say essence is achievement of God. If grace is not for you, how would you describe God's love? Would you know? Would you be pleased if someone else delivered the message for you? Would you fill in the blanks just as well as the person you look up to? It doesn't have to be in language or misconduct. Organically new with the foundational response usually makes me really joyous. Anything beyond that, found to be harmonically well with the risen people. I'm being really honest here. I never really supposed the judgmental part, although the pull of being in the middle of really big circles is unconditionally met with God's multiple perspectives. So you take a circle, for example, um, and the circle is a circle, so it's going to go in a cycle. But the circle can become a 3D shape, you know, and so you got multiple circles of how many lines you want in that circle. Um, I'm just I'm just rubber banding right now, but there are so many different ways you could look at a circle because of what it does for a person. You know, are these circular? Are these circular? Is the Earth circular? Um, does the moon have circular crates in it? How are you achieving circular motion when you're doing certain extracurricular activities? A hoop circular. You know, I'm not even piecing pieces together, but when time comes to how I see fit, shapes are important. So make sure that if you have a circle, you got a square. Make sure you got a circle, you got a diamond or something like that, triangle. But maybe this is not as fresh as it should be, but I'm gonna go on. Although the pull of being in the middle of really big circles is unconditionally met with God's multiple perspectives, not to allude that love has turned into perspectives, knowing is a really keen word here. What I mean by that is, so you got multiple perspectives because you got so many different circles, so many different of these circles. You're gonna start to wonder, like, is my love real? Is my thing real? Is my, you know, unless if you are real with big picture, unless if you are real with that circle, love life kind of thing, where you have the want to be in a bigger picture, bigger group, bigger setting, and that makes for things of a lighter tone to like kind of you get kind of like kind of maybe embarrassed, kind of stressed off the anxiety, but it's just like you just gotta have to know that love does provide multiple perspectives, and through that, I think you're gonna get even more so an endearing notion of what love looks like, as opposed to hmm, this is love, this is love. I want this love. I want this love. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it should be like, this is love. This is love. Okay. Okay. This is gonna, but, things happen. So that one's a little bit weird too. Um, so I just continue on with my writing, and that's kind of difficult with this because I'm going quickly through, but I just say it's about love, but how is it shown in the context of time? Definitely want to be even more so present. It usually pertains to holding on to things you would be better off without sin. Where would love go? Understanding that time was given to children. It was given to those with free time. God wouldn't shame you. He definitely gave you freedom of choice. Um, I like to say I had a vehicle that let me think of 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and so forth. A vehicle. What is a vehicle though? What does that matching vehicle look like? People say to get from point A to B. Mm. A vehicle holds you. It lets you sit in a surround sound system. And for all intents and purposes, it could be a home for certain people. But a vehicle is something that makes makes something go off of born energy. What is born energy? Created energy from an engine that was previously matched. Um, and, and since people were matching from the supply and demand, people were trying to buy more cars. But I think what I mean by that is when you have a vehicle, think of you two, three, four ways. You're evolving in how you move yourself. You're evolving in um, how you deliver your message. You're evolving in how you get to this and get to that, get to what you want. Because like I said, love is not you know matching of saying here like I want this out of love, I want this out of love, but you're going through something where you go, okay, I have this. What's developed out of a mature maturation matching somebody through that language. It might not be the best either, but you have consideration that you go, okay, now there's something seriously worthy here and wealthy here, but you didn't know how to really explain it. That 2.0, 3.0 is gonna actually make you see how you get to that point in existence by your own manner. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's well worthy of how people should understand each other. Like where could you be if you did through this? I mean, you know what? We all go through the same paths and roads on freeways and stuff like that, but I think the vehicle is more so not just automobile, um, which it is 1.0, but in like the 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, it's like for me personally, um, it made me really enjoy the life that I have with what is coming around with these electric cars and with what is actually uh, what actually makes me think about what is in the fine line. It's a very thin line, in essence, like I've been thinking about recently that I want to and there's always been times where I'm like, man, I gotta say this, I gotta say this, I gotta say this, I gotta say this so many times. Sometimes I don't do it. There are quick instances where I just gotta get it out there. I gotta say it. So my information is just out there, and it's not just out there just cause, but it stands as being that it's a form of intellect. It could be a form of wheels. It could be a form of added feature on your car. Something that makes. Yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit stoked too. But yeah, I mean it in so many ways. It was a matching guidance that performed well with unconditional love and boundaries. You know what I mean? So, you go cross all roads um, based off of automobile. You know what I mean? But if you have a good vehicle, you're gonna be able to cross all boundaries, man. So, like, if I continue with that, I would say, I started just dotting points based off the circle analysis. I just give you phrases. I say a veil may turn into a reminder, thus a personification, into an animation, which grows into a story. And that story can become a focus of yours, a focus of mine, a focus of all of ours, and an approach because you love that story so much. That story was so immaculate, so impeccable, so detail oriented, so visually pleasing, so dream-worthy, so undeniable, that like it doesn't even matter about any kind of race, size, differences. That approach, you know what I mean, is gonna have achievements for both sides, the creator and the visual, the person watching. So that is also going to produce a distillment amongst everyone involved. People who were working the production scene, you know, I remember I was speaking about this way back. Is like, you know, these movie people, you know, there's movies. If you look at the ending, there's like 100, 1,000 people on one movie film for a 2 hour film. You know what I mean? And like that in itself is gonna is gonna produce so much of a brainchild, and it's gonna produce so much of a worthy illustration of what a togetherness can do, that you're gonna get a good film no matter what. Well, most films, you know what I mean. You can rate your films. I'm gonna start only at 6 out of 10. Five out of 10 movies possibly, but anyways, so like I'm gonna look at that and I'm gonna go, wow, like that's a movie. You know what I mean? Because your production team was so thorough, but they're spending thousands of hours on one instance. You know what I mean? And so you start to wonder all those little details. How much does it really matter? You know what I mean? So that's a distillment. And then you have a distillment. You know, if you heard the sanction, be still. Um, that may turn into higher latitude. The latitude may go lower, may go higher. The latitude, you never know the latitude. You may never know the longitude, because you may know the distillment, um, which is, you know, under the appreciation of everything that has gone through. You are gonna have to be able to, you know, understand that in the horizontal, there's in the longitude, there's a wide range of people among you. Um, so then that could turn into a measurement. Um, a measurement, as far as juxtaposition, is crazy because a latitude, a measurement is not just this. Measurement is it's like, you know what I mean, it's everything. It's like, so you really, a measurement is amazingly well done if it's a measurement based off of yeah, a really well rounded good amount of people that knows what they're doing, and that measurement can actually help an individual strive for something so strongly, so willingly, so much pressure like a diamond, that you dang, so you like you make it so possible because of the fact that you've given a person some more eyes actually. um and then that actually, that once you figure it out, once you figure out like, wow, like you got your measurements right, you're gonna start to enjoy life. Like life is life is freaking amazing if you see all the good parts of life. You know, I know people who are very calm, but you know, you want to see them in their extra mode sometimes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like that's enjoyment, and many other different enjoyments. Like, you know, you got like a possibility of after, you know, you understood, oh my gosh, this is who I am. You kind of understand the enjoyment is almost limitless because of the fact that if you keep up with doing something particularly well with the given manners of a highly intellectual group of people, uh, to actually vouch for you, then you get you into a improved state of your vehicle. Your inspiration is beyond matter now. It's consistently delving deep into how people work well with each other and things of that nature. But yeah, uh, and then, you know, enjoyment turns into a celebration because enjoyments get bigger and bigger and bigger. The celebration is ultimately something that, you know, you have achieved off of you know, you say like, man, dang, man, I've gone through this, so like, I don't know, maybe I should tell somebody, and then that could also lead to a remembrance, um, because after you celebrate a lot of good times, is to look back, understand who's been there, what's been there, what got you there, how that developed you, what it did for the people around you, for Earth, for God, for for everything in between. You know what I mean? Like, there's a really good idea when it comes to remembrance, because I mean, sorry, remembrance actually helps for people that want to look into the future. It's a little fact I got from my studies. Um, so, a sanctification based off of the breadth of a remembrance is, man, people get deep. People get real deep, real deep. So, do what you gotta do to really humble yourselves and to keep you guys self in check. Um, and then you may have a loss and a birth. The cycle of life continues. A dove and a fish. Peace. That just means peace and peace to me. Peace and more peace. Um, an eagle. Well, I have actually. Well, let's stick with that. A dove. Let's not even talk about the dove. Let's talk about an eagle. An eagle is. A fish. A fish is one of the symbols of God, but a fish is also one of the most healthiest foods you can eat as a person. Um, but a fish is also streamlined. Is a streamlined animal. You know what I mean? It needs flow in order to flow, to travel. All right. So actually, I'm gonna just stop there. So an eagle with its nest and a resistance persecution. Right. So that would be the next two parts that continue together. Eagle with its nest and a resistance to persecution, because you know eagles trying to just live. They're just trying to they know everything that's coming. They got that golden eye. You can't really mess with them. You really can't. Like, I don't know how much times you want to check an eagle, but it's gonna continually be ahead of the game, and it's still the banner of the United States. So with that being said, and Mexico and stuff like that. With that being said, you're just gonna have to understand. Oh, no, wait. Anyways, you're just gonna have to really understand how that really works. You know what I mean? Because when an eagle understands what it has, and it understands it just needs to feed its nest, it's just leaving. It's taking on a higher route, a higher road, resistance of persecution, and a soaring being. Then when when you could get past conflict in a well perceived manner, but it's also, hey, look, this is the time that you need eagle. Like, now you're able to be that soaring being that is really, 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 really amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I would want to be an eagle. If I could have top five animals, I think an eagle would definitely be one of them. Um, and so that, being still that eagle, you turn into a rush wind, because the eagles in mountains, man. The eagles in the most beautiful places. I'm telling you, it's like, bro, like, man, it ain't even anything. Like, the eagle is quite consistently one of the most remarkable things, because we look at it in awe, and it's probably looking at us with awe. uh, so I say that, and then I continue with a wise voice bellowing like it was its creator, because that eagle in its rusher wind and in those mountains, you never know. It might hear some certain voices in his head, and with that brain of his or her, it might a brain that's in his transient moments. It may not be an eagle anymore. It may be a tool. It may be bigger than an animal eagle. Anyways. It may be something on a whole nother level at that point. And when you look at it, you may be seeing an eagle, but it may be a Gryffindor or something like that. Yeah. um. So next, after that, I say a lost in translation world is set to be reimagined. So once you have that, you go, oh my gosh, this eagle might have literally gained superpowers, and now it's like, man, I gotta be the model hero. I gotta be the I gotta be on the United States flag now. I gotta take a selfie now. That's trying to be lost in translation world is set to be reimagined. While there are people so involved and so just strong and wise and open and convicted and all over the place, artsy and developers. Um, they I translation world set to be right. They it it's I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Be reimagined. A wonder in speed and appreciation. So a wonder in speed and appreciation, I think, actually is probably what I would think the eagle is going through at that moment. Is, man, I'm flying this fast, and I feel this good. I wish I'm an eagle every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would think about an eagle, uh, simply speaking. Um, but do eagles really think like that? Or are their vehicles, providing for other animals too? Because the ecosystem is so deeply enriched with how well things have been matching. Because the ecosystem is just familiar as the universe that is observable, and also in the deep oceans, the multiple options that are that haven't even been discovered. Um, is it really that key on to know that you need those things, or is it just sometimes food and of that nature? I think when you put it that way, my last one I want to say is color and light, because you know I don't know if maybe I should have researched this beforehand. I wonder if what the eagles can see through their eyes, um, and if they vibrate off of light, and if, if they see if they have their frequency within light, um, is their eyes almost turning into something more? You know what I mean? Like, is that eye thing kind of becoming? Are they richly um, ex- are they richly given something that that could help others strive towards what they need? This is more so the spiritual sense of it. Like, I kind of like built my story into, I mean, built my this thing into a story, but conclusive piece is that I found that once you grow over time, and once you grow through the multiple different realizations, what you got to have your reality part, but once your dream state does function in the abilities of uh, actually not even really risking being safe, you're as long as you're safe and you're not harming other people, um, your possibilities are kind of endless. And so that's what I mean by lights, is because lights are always going to be shut off, at the end of the day with your eyes, but you're gonna run into light again. You're gonna run into colors again. What's gonna happen, you know, when all that light and colors are gonna be so amazing that uh, you're gonna feel like a rainbow. You're gonna feel like you're ultra white. You're gonna feel like you're ultra gray, or something like that. You're gonna feel, a certain extent of you're gonna feel a certain extent of, like, it's not the grand idea of, hey man, like I have all of it. I got it. I know the secrets to the answer. No, it's more so when you have that a wonder and speed and appreciation onto the next of color and light, um, the matching of who you can find for other people, other knowledge, other wisdom, travel places, different kinds of food, uh, there's a certain match that you're gonna want to like, discover, research, Google, whatnot, but then you're gonna want to like, you're gonna have like this highly, highly indicative appreciation. I think that will really grow out to be like you're soaring on wings like an eagle. All right, that was a good one, I think. Um, I think I have more to say, but let's leave it at that, man. Till next time. Peace, man. Peace.